Hi friends, welcome to Nurses Corner. Welcome to another episode of NMC CBT exam questions and answers. So we will start with the question number 18. Those who didn't watch the first episode, please watch the first episode and continue to this episode. First 18 question is independent and supplementary nurse and midwives are those who are. Option A is nurse and midwife student who cleared medication administration exam. B is nurses and midwives education in appropriate medication prescription for certain pharmaceutical. C is registrants completed a program to prescribe under community nurse practitioners drug formulary. And D is nurses and midwives whose name is entered in the register. So the answer is B. This is a direct question. So that means independent and supplementary nurse and midwife who are independent and supplementary nurse and midwife. Okay, so in the option A, nurse and midwife student, okay, who cleared medication, we can surely eliminate that option, and we can eliminate three registrants completed, and registrants means the doctor completed a program to prescribe the community nurse practitioner drug formulary. And D is nurses and midwife whose name is entered in the register. That is like a normal option. So B is the answer, nurses and midwives educated in appropriate medication prescription for certain pharmaceuticals. The next question is 19. An unmarried young female admitted with ectopic pregnancy with her friend to hospital with complaints of abdominal pain. Her friend assisted a procedure and became aware of her pregnancy, and when the family arrives to the hospital, she reveals the truth. The family reacts negatively. What could the nurse have done to protect the confidentiality of the patient information? So the 19th question, an unmarried young female admitted with ectopic pregnancy with her friend to hospital with complaints of abdominal pain. Her friend assisted a procedure and became aware of her pregnancy, and when the family arrives to hospital, she reveals the truth. The family reacts negatively. What could the nurse have done to protect the confidentiality of the patient information? So option A is should tell the family that they don't have any rights to know the patient information. That is completely wrong. And B is that the friend was mistaken and the doctor will confirm the patient's condition. That is also wrong. And C is should insist friend on confidentiality. And the D is should have asked another staff nurse to be a chaperone while assisting a procedure. Yes, that will be the answer. Should have asked another staff nurse to be chaperone while assisting a procedure. That is very important here in UK. So all other options A, B and C we can eliminate easily. Should tell the family that they don't have any rights to know the patient information. That is completely wrong. They have the right to know if they have the right to know about her daughter, and so that is completely wrong. And the B is that the friend was mistaken and the doctor will confirm the patient condition. That is also wrong. And the C is should I insist front on that is also wrong. And the fourth is the answer. And 20th question, in a GP clinic, when you are assessing a pregnant lady, you observe some bruises on her hand. When you ask her about this, she remains silent. What is your action? Call her husband to know what is happening. That is completely wrong. Tell her that you are concerned of her welfare and you may need to share this information appropriately with the people who offer help. And the next option is do nothing as she does not want to speak another anything. And the fourth option is call the police. So for these four options, call her husband to know what is happening. So that is completely wrong because we don't know it is a the lady was harmed by her husband or not. So you got the answer, I think so. And the 21 is as an RN, when you are administering medication, you made an error. taking health and safety of the patient into consideration, what is your action? First option is call the prescriber, report through yellow card scheme and document it in patient note. Let the next of kin know about this and document it. Document this in patient notes and inform the line manager. Assess for potential harm to client, inform the line manager and prescriber and document in patient note. The answer is call the prescriber, report through yellow card scheme and document it in patient note, and we need to observe him for any signs of reaction. So that is very important. Call the prescriber, report through yellow card scheme and document it in patient note. That is the policy here. Next question. You have assigned a new student to an experienced healthcare assistant to gain some knowledge in delivering patient care. The student nurse tells you that the HCA has pushed the client back to the chair when she was trying to stand up. What is your action? Suspend the HCA immediately, intervene on spot and raise concern immediately to the manager on duty. Ask the client later on what was happened. Ignore the student as she is new and does not have any experience. Among these options, the second is the answer: intervene on spot and raise concern immediately to the manager on duty. So suspend HCA immediately, that is wrong. We need to intervene on spot and raise concern immediately to the manager on duty. Ask the client later on what has happened, that is also, we can eliminate that option. And ignore the student as she is new and does not have any experience, so we can ignore that option also. So the right answer is, if we will see the same in our real scenario, so we need to intervene on spot and raise concern immediately to our own manager on duty. So that will be the answer. We can't suspend HCA immediately or like that. 23. A newly admitted client refusing to hand over his own medications, and this includes controlled drugs. What is your action? The option is you have to take it anyway and document it. Call the doctor and inform about the situation. Document this refusal as these medication are his property and should not do anything without his consent. And fourth option is refuse the admission as this is against the policy. The answer is document this refusal as these medications are his property and should not do anything without his consent. That is very important, and the answer is right. And we need to document that refusal, and also we can't take anything from the patient without the patient consent. That is very important. That's why the answer is document this refusal as these medications are his property and should not do anything without his consent. You have the other option, you have to take it anyway and document. We can't do it like that. And call the doctor and inform about the situation. Later we can inform to the doctor, but the answer or this condition is document this refusal as these medications are his property and should not do anything without his consent. A nurse is not allowing the client to go to bed without finishing her meal. What is your action as an RN? The question is, a nurse is not allowing the client to go to bed without finishing her meal. What is your action as RN? Do nothing as client has to finish her meal, which is important for her health. Challenge the situation immediately as this is related to dignity of the patient and raise your concern. Third option is do nothing as patient is not under your care. And the fourth is wait until the situation is over and speak to the client on what she wants to do. So the right answer is challenge the situation immediately as this is related to dignity of the patient and raise your concern. That is the right answer. The first option, do nothing as client has to finish to her meal, which is important for her health. We can't do it like that because if the patient don't want to eat, if the patient has adults, it means deprivation of liberty safeguard. We can compel, means we can't do it more, but we can try to insist him to eat. But in this scenario, challenge the situation immediately as this is related to dignity of the patient and raise your concern. That is the right answer. And the other option, do nothing as patient is not under your care, that is not right, because we need to take care of the other patients also. 25. A client had fractured hand and being cared at home requiring analgesia. The medication was prescribed under PGD. Which of the following statements are correct related to this? A is a PGD can be delegated to student nurse who can administer medication with supervision. PGDs cannot be delegated. This type of prescription is not made under PGD. This can be delegated to another RN who can administer in view of a competent person. So what is PGD? We need to know what is PGD. PGD means patient group direction. So in this question 25, a client had fractured hand and being cared at home requiring analgesia. The medication was prescribed under PGD. Which of the following statements are correct related to this? A PGD can be delegated to student nurse who can administer medication with supervision. We can't do it like that. PGDs cannot be delegated to anyone. That is the right answer because patient group direction. So that means the patient needs to take himself. So PGDs cannot be delegated to anyone. PGDs cannot be delegated to a student nurse. So and also this type of prescription is not made under PGD. That we can't because most of the patients, those who have severe pain, they are taking PGD as a morphine or some other pain medicines. So 26, you are transcribing medication from prescription chart to a discharge letter. Before sending this letter, what action must be taken? A registrant should sign this letter. Transcribing is not allowed in any circumstances. The letter has to be checked by a nurse in charge. Letter can be sent directly to the patient after transcribing. So the answer is a registrant or doctor or concerned doctor should sign this letter. That will be the answer. And the second option is transcribing is not allowed in any circumstances. That is wrong. We can transcribe. That is not a problem. The letter has to be checked by a nurse in charge. We doesn't need to check with a nurse in charge. We can check with another RN, cross check with another RN. Letter can be sent directly to the patient after prescribing. 27. When explaining about traveler's diarrhea, which of the following is correct? Traveler's diarrhea is mostly caused by rotavirus. Antimotility drugs like loperamide is ineffective management. Oral rehydration in adults and children is not useful. Adsorbents such as Kyolin is ineffective and not advised. The answer is, that's the direct answer. Adsorbents such as Kyolin is ineffective. 28. Most of the signs and symptoms are common in both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Which of the following symptom is more common in type 1 than type 2? Thirst, weight loss, polyuria. That is all the signs and symptoms of type 2 diabetes mellitus. That is both ketones. That is the right answer. Ketones is the right answer for most of the signs and symptoms, both common signs and symptoms. That is ketone. As a nurse, 29. As a nurse, you are responsible for looking after patients' nutritional needs and to maintain good weight during hospitalization. How would you achieve this? 29 question again. As a nurse, you are responsible for looking after patients' nutritional needs and to maintain good weight during hospitalization. How would you achieve this? First option is providing all clients with liquid nutritional supplements, assessing all patients using must screening tool and by taking patient preference into consideration, checking daily weight and documenting, assessing nutritional status, client preferences and needs, making individual food choices available, checking daily and documentation. The answer is assessing all patients using must screening tool and by taking patients preferences into consideration. Must screening is the this is a tool to identify the body mass index and everything. So that is in order to check must, we need to get the patient height and weight. So that is very important to get. So the answer is assessing all patients using must screening tool and by taking patient preferences into consideration. So that is the answer. Other options are completely wrong. Providing all clients with liquid nutrition supplement, that is also wrong. Checking daily weight and documenting. So that is also wrong. That is good, checking daily weight and documenting, but nothing to do with checking daily weight and documenting itself. Nothing to do with that one. We need to assess all patient using mass screening tool and by taking patient preferences into consideration. That is the right answer. 30 is, when do you wear clean gloves? Assisting with bathing, feeding a client when there is broken skin on hand. So an activity which includes physical touch of a client. So in these four options, the right answer is when there is broken skin on hand. That is the answer. Assisting with bathing, if you want you can wear, other it's all right. If you didn't wear the gloves, clean gloves. Feeding, if you want you can, but it is not a must thing. An activity which includes physical touch of a client, that is also wrong. So among these four options, when there is broken skin on hand in order to prevent infection, that is the right answer. 31, when delegating any task to anyone, what you must need to consider. The first option, delegating according to job description, delegating tasks to student nurse they can be able to do, delegate task only to healthcare assistant. Before delegating task to anyone, how to make sure that the person is competent and able to carry the task. That is the right answer. Before delegating any task, we need to assess the person is competent and able to carry the task. For instance, for example, if we as an RN, if we are not able to do, or if we are not competent, we can't do it like that. 32, if a client is experiencing hypertension post-operatively, the head is not tilted in which of the following surgeries? Chest surgeries. That is the right answer. And abdominal surgeries, gynecological surgeries, lower limb surgeries. These three cases we can do the head tilt method. So chest surgery, the head is not tilted in chest surgeries. So that is the right answer. 33, a client is diagnosed with hepatitis A. Which of the following statement made by client indicates understanding of the disease? We need to know that this is hepatitis A. So the first option is sexual intimacy and kissing is not allowed. Does require hospitalization. Transmitted only through blood transfusion. That is transmitted only through blood transfusion. That will be for hepatitis B. Any planned surgery need to be postponed. That is irrelevant for that is. So sexual intimacy and kissing is not allowed is the answer. Which of the following statement made by client diagnosed with the hepatitis A needs further understanding of the disease? Washing hands before cooking food. That is very important for hepatitis A. Refraining from sexual intimacy and symptoms still present. That is also what we discussed in the previous question. So the third is towels and flannels can be shared with children. So that is the right answer because needs further understanding of the